Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 170 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor. No Damon at the moment. We expect him to join at some point, or he might just fall asleep or something.
He's a definite maybe. So
he's a hard maybe.
Which again is fair. We are. This happens every once in a while where we have to go outside of our regular schedule, and we're not always able to all make it. So if he may pop on, he may not. We'll see.
We're doing the very rare Friday night recording for us. Where which we usually don't do to bring everybody behind the scenes. We usually record on Sundays and then we release on Mondays, but this particular weekend I'm going to be out of town for a wedding and Damon is heading to Vero Beach, so Trevor's going to have a nice weekend off, which is
I'm actually going to spend it planning for our meetup because I need to get all of my stuff in order because I am traveling internationally, so I'm just going to make sure I've got all my paperwork and everything sorted, so I'll make good use of the weekend.
Well, that's good news, and you just brought up the meetup, which was very good for you to do. So we did want to bring up on here, we did put up a website for the meetup, and if you RSVP'd, by the way, or said you're interested on the Facebook event, we are going to ask you to do a separate step because we need to confirm that you're coming. And so if you go to meetup.welcomehomepodcast.com, especially this is for people that don't have Facebook too, right? So you're listening to this and you're like, how can I confirm my attendance because I don't have Facebook? Meetup, one word, .welcomehomepodcast.com. Go there, reserve a ticket. You got to reserve a ticket. They're free. They don't cost anything, right? We are paying for this event. So whatever we decide to eat and drink when we're there, we are paying for this. So it is a free event. So please come and join us. And we are giving a deadline of what is the actual date?
Wednesday, which would be
the 13th.
The 13th, yeah. So, we need everybody to RSVP by the 13th, and that's so that we can get an accurate head count and make sure that we make an appropriate booking because, obviously we can't, book this for hundreds of people and guess at how many people are going to show up. So
yes, but tens of people is what we're going to have. But listen, we're excited for the folks that are coming.
Ones of people. Maybe it'll just be me and Tom. I don't know. But no, I know it won't be.
I did see we have someone coming from England to join us, which I don't
awesome.
know. Yeah, which is very cool. I don't know if they're coming specifically for us, which makes me feel bad because I feel like you're going to be disappointed. But
I feel like it's one of those like how I have talked about the Midnight or Moonlight Magic events, how the stars align and you happen to be there at the right time. Like I would assume that. I mean, if somebody's going out of their way to come and meet us, greatly appreciate it. That's again super awesome. But yeah, like Tom said, I think Tom and I have a little bit of imposter syndrome sometimes about this podcast, that we don't think that anyone wants to get a picture with us or anything.
I've always felt that way, and then there was that one trip I did like mid-pandemic and like where I met up with a couple listeners and we were taking pictures, and it was cool, but it still felt weird to me. I'm like, I don't know why anybody wants to do this. And it's we've talked about this, I think, off podcast before, right? Where you and I don't, and probably Damon too, we don't always go around advertising to people in our lives that we do this, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll tell a quick story. I was at we had a team lunch, at work. And I don't really talk about this at work, but there's a couple people that just know, right? Because there was one time, there was one time we needed to do, one of those goofy corporate introduction things, and you had to come up with a fun fact, and I was like, gosh, I'm so incredibly boring, and so I was like, all right, well, I'll talk about the podcast, right? And and all I said was that I do a podcast, that's it, right? But so I don't know how this came up, but then someone at the table that was in that thing said, well, why don't you mention your podcast? And I'm like, oh man, Like, can I not talk about that? Like, I don't know. It's not like I'm embarrassed by it or anything. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a different part of my life, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, all my friends and the family, you know, family knows that I do this, but you know, it's just one of those things. I know probably a lot of people would go around and tell everybody, right? Like, oh, I have a podcast, go check it out. But it's just, I don't know. It's just something I don't want to advertise necessarily. So I also have a weird thing. I don't like the sound of my own voice. So it's weird to me for anybody else hearing my voice and listening to this. So
yeah, which is, I mean, it's really weird how this all got started if you think about it. Cause you know, we both feel the same way, but I think we kind of took a chance and just, started and here we are.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think we're outgoing on this, but like, you know, just like maybe socially awkward in person, right? Like, so.
Yeah, I think that's part of it for sure. So yeah, maybe we're oversetting expectations for this meetup. That, you know, we're not going to be like, you know, setting off fireworks or anything, you know, or being like super. I don't know.
I also did, by the way, I did put another Facebook invite out there for Sunday because we are going to go to Magic Kingdom. Yeah. So if you, that one, by the way, you do have to go on Facebook for, but if you do plan on meeting us and you don't have Facebook, just shoot us an email and say you're going to meet us. We're going to meet up at the partner statue at 8. Well, it said 8:45, but the park doesn't open until 9, but I'm sure we can get in before 9. So, but we're planning to meet there, you know, rope drop it. And we'll hang around for a few, and then we're going to go right to Space Mountain because I know that that's the thing that people want to do is ride Space Mountain with me. So we're going to do that,
and
then and then we'll just play it by ear. We're just going to roam around Magic Kingdom and, you know, do whatever. And Magic Kingdom actually closes at 4:30 that day, so you know, I have a feeling we might end up elsewhere.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll end up hopping probably to Epcot or something.
Probably not Epcot.
I would like to put on so I realized I'm, you know, haven't been back to the parks in a couple of years, and I'm definitely needing a bit of a Disney fix. And so I want to ask to get Pirates and Haunted Mansion on the to-do list as well.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, hopefully we can if we can get those 3 done, I would be super happy.
Well, listen, there is, for me, and you know, this isn't a listener question, but it could be, right? So like a Magic Kingdom day is incomplete without which 3 rides to you, right? So like for me, it's Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder, and let's go Jungle Cruise, right? So like if I don't do those 3, I don't feel like I had a like legit day at Magic Kingdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. And yeah, for me, it's definitely, it's Haunted Mansion, Pirates, and then a third. I mean, it kind of flips around. Like I would go for Big Thunder, but I think I would. Yeah, my third one changes depending on the day. it changes.
Exactly, but depends on the day, right? Yeah. So Damon has arrived.
Whoa.
Bless you. Bless me.
Did you just start off by sneezing?
He just.
I did. I couldn't stop myself.
He just.
That's a good introduction
to the podcast. Yeah.
You just dropped it.
I'm allergic to the podcast.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that on Facebook you've been getting a lot of very good advice about Vero. That seems like
I've been getting advice about Vero. I can't claim that it's good or bad until I go.
All right, that's a fair point. I mean,
we'll see how it pans out on the next week podcast.
Oh yeah, that's true. We will see that next time, right? So
yeah, I guess so.
We hadn't even really started, Damon. We were just kind of, you know, doing that thing that we do.
Yeah, we were talking about the meetup, and
I mean, I'll tell you, I looked at the episode notes and I was not impressed. So
okay,
all right,
all right, cool. we did.
I'm already in vacation mode. I don't know how long I'll be staying. I just was like, let me get on and see.
That's all right. Cool. Well, we did get a couple more questions in last minute too, so you know, maybe we can pop some of those questions in. But we were talking about, you know, why we were recording early, and I would like to keep this to be a shorter episode, and I know we say that, and I know there's people listening right now that are snickering at that because we said that so many times, and then we go for an hour and a half. But it'd be good if we didn't today. So
okay, so let's get into the list of questions. Yeah.
So meetup.welcomehomepodcast.com though, and also check out the Facebook invite for Magic Kingdom Day. So, all right, so Kevin, happy National Beer Day, which was not when you're listening to this, but last week, to celebrate, Disney has decided to do a holiday overlay on an attraction. Which ride would you bestow this honor? I mean, I feel like Epcot is just always National Beer Day. It's just a park, just the whole park is national. Yeah, I feel like you need to have a ride in Germany for this. This is where you're missing a ride in Germany.
Well, but that's not the question. He's saying overlay a ride, so you can't.
Yeah, but for National,
you can't say invent a. Yeah, but so you can't say invent a new ride. You gotta overlay an existing one. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, in Epcot. Oh, does it have to be Epcot? Oh, well, no, it doesn't have to be Epcot. In my head it was Epcot. I don't know, man.
All I can see in my head is when they there was a years and years ago episode of The Simpsons where they went to Duff Gardens and they were riding like it was like the Small World, but it was all Duff beer based.
Yeah, they were doing a parody of Small World.
Yeah. I feel like Small World.
There you go.
Should have a beer day overlay.
Small beer. Yeah. It's a small beer after. Okay. All right. I actually, Damon, I included you as a question here. You can't be unimpressed with your own question that you posted in the group. I just like the question. It's not even there. I think he fell asleep already.
Okay. He's in vacation mode, so we'll give him that.
All right, I have too many windows open. I can't get back to the mute button.
Find your unmute button? That's amazing.
No, I have like 10 windows open and 3 monitors going here.
This happens to me at work all the time.
Can I be unimpressed with my own question? I mean, I guess not, but I feel like I already answered it, didn't I? Maybe I didn't answer it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you. I mean, did you answer it in the group? I mean,
no, probably not.
So yeah. I like this question. If you were to introduce a new country in Epcot and a festival around it, what would they be? I like it. It's a good question. What do you got?
I mean, I think it has to be Greece, but I don't know what festival we're doing for it.
I don't know. Is there a specific Greek festival that would be?
I'm sure there are, but yeah, I don't know exactly what. I don't know. What's this volcano festival?
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool.
Volcano.
There's a pistachio festival?
Wow.
That actually, I love pistachios. Like that is, yeah, dude, I'm in pistachio festival because it makes sense, right? Now we can do all pistachio stuff. I'm in on that. Yep. Greek.
All right. I almost want to say
Greece and pistachio festival.
Yeah. I almost want to say India, just for that one cool holiday that they have that everybody goes to.
Diwali?
No, the other one, the one with the all the colors and stuff, where they why am I forgetting the name of it? Like that festival of color thing that they do. Do you know what I'm talking about? Why can't I remember what the name of it is?
I kind of know what you're talking about, but I don't know what the name of it is.
Yeah. Let me see. It's HOLI. Is it Holly or Holy?
Yeah, we'll have to ask what the pronunciation is on that. But yeah,
but that one, you know what I'm talking about, where they have all the colors and stuff. Yeah, how cool would that be to do at Epcot? I mean, it would be a mess and people.
Oh my goodness, yeah,
it'd be crazy. But I mean, it would be fun.
Yeah,
I almost want to say though too. I feel like they need to do I mean, I guess it's always Oktoberfest at the Germany Pavilion, right? Is it just always Oktoberfest? I guess. I don't know. I think they feel like they could do more proper Oktoberfest. Yeah. I don't know. I like this question, though.
I feel like something with Spain would be interesting. I don't like...
Ooh.
But I don't know what festival would go around that.
Yeah, that would be difficult. What about the running of the bulls? Disney does it
again. Yeah, that would work out great in Epcot. I'm sure.
You don't think it would? You got to run around the World Showcase. You don't have to make it real bulls. I mean, you can have fake bulls.
Just people running it invites all kinds of problems. I don't think Disney wants.
I mean, they already got. Listen, I think I said this on the last podcast when we went to Food and Wine late last year. I mean, Epcot After Dark is a crazy place, man. Like during Food and Wine, it is. I would not bring my daughter there at After Dark. Like it is nuts during Food and Wine. Probably all the festivals, I would say, but man, it was. I couldn't believe. Honestly, I'd been there After Dark before for Food and Wine, and I didn't feel like it was like this last time. It was, I don't know, it was just kind of crazy, but
you just caught the right day.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe. Yeah. All right, so should we do Dan's question?
Yeah, I want to hear your guys' take on this because so Dan says, I'm in Indiana to tour a college with my son, and everyone here is so nice, like genuinely nice and polite to everyone. I'm wondering if everyone outside of the Northeast is like this.
I don't want to say everyone, but yeah, I mean, I talked about this in the Discord a little bit because I thought this was a funny question. And I mean, I will say in the South that people are genuinely nicer where they will, like come up to you and just talk to you randomly and like is a little more politeness and less like, although this is something I don't love because, I being from New Jersey, I like to drive. I don't want to say too fast, but I mean, I don't like to drive super slow. But people down here just kind of take their time, like they're not in a rush to get anywhere. They're just, they take their time. And I don't know. I think so, Dan, because leaving the Northeast, I mean, coming south though, people were definitely a lot nicer here. That's for sure.
No, everyone's a jerk everywhere. There.
You don't think people down here are nicer? I mean,
to your face?
Yeah, to your face. Yeah. I mean, behind your back, but then you also have the bless your heart thing down here too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think in general, people everywhere are getting a little ruder. So I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair. Do you know about the whole bless your heart thing, Trevor?
No, I don't know what that is.
So
it means F off.
Sometimes, I mean, it can be genuine. It depends on the inflection and the.
If you're not
voice.
From down there, it means F off.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you allowed to say that on the podcast, Damon? Is that allowed?
F? Yeah. What's wrong with F?
I know.
I mean, it seems pretty.
Next week, a special guest
letter
Elmo.
Yeah, exactly.
F is for no. I'm just. Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen. It is interesting though because Dan is from. I think he was Massachusetts, right? So yeah,
I believe Boston. He said, which is different than Massachusetts.
Well, it's. I mean, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I remember my geography, it is in Massachusetts.
You can remember your geography, but it's still different than Massachusetts.
All right. That you're just
Boston
saying
is different than the Cape. Let's put it that way.
All right. Well, yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
I don't get any of this stuff because
that's fine. If
I just live in Canada.
Well, if you start making Calgary jokes, I'm not going to understand either.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Can they do that? What's that festival they have up by you? They could do that in the Canada Pavilion. Yeah, can they do that in the Canadian Pavilion?
They don't have enough room for the rodeo.
Yeah, it's a rodeo, right? Yeah, you don't have room for that.
Well, that rodeo is part of it. There's a lot that goes on at the Stampede, so including lots of drinking. But
okay, well, there's that too. Yeah, well, that's already there, so you're good. So Alexis wants to know if you could produce your own store and where would the ride take us, real or fantasy, and what 4D effects would you include? I miss the Orange Grove, but love Africa. Isn't Africa the one that smells like cut grass? Oh,
no, it smells like dirt.
Yeah,
but it's that good like or no, like not like dirt, like dust, like somebody's picked up dust. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't love that. Africa really. Wow, that's a a hot take right there. I say I like prefer the ocean. I like the ocean smell. The ocean smells good.
But where else? Like, I don't know where else it would go. I mean, it kind of covers.
Yeah, it's soaring around the world now. It goes all over the world, right? So,
but I guess fantasy. Good. Okay, yeah.
Maybe you could do soaring around all the Disney parks around the world. You know, you could just go through each park. And
just like drone footage flying through the park.
Just drone footage. Come on, we need higher def than that, man. They
can put a good camera on a drone.
They put them on. They put these big cameras on like helicopters and fly them around.
You can get a big drone. They can use that TIE fighter drone, or not TIE fighter, the X-wing drone that they used once.
That they built and used for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I would love to know how much they spent on that.
So, okay, where else would it go? I mean,
there's a lot of other places that can go around the United States, right?
Yeah, maybe zoom in on like different areas. Yeah, like some stuff over the Rocky Mountains would be good. The Rockies are always nice for aerial footage.
Yeah, there's a lot more places in the United States they could go over, right? Because the original film was California, right? So, and now we're around the world. But, you know, there's so many places they can go.
And I mean, 4D effects, like, so we've already got smells and stuff. Like, are you going to start like hitting people with fish when like you're gonna start doing like down too close to the water and then like fish hit people and
yeah, you got the water spray. It's like the Honey I Shrunk the Audience or PhilharMagic, right? With all those effects. I'm not gonna lie. The last time I did PhilharMagic, I might have put my foot on the thing that sprays you with stuff because I just didn't feel like getting sprayed in face with the water at the moment. Like, just didn't feel like it. And then on Tough to Be a Bug, I always like lean forward so I don't get hit by the thing on the back. You know?
Yeah, you just scooch the small of your back a little bit forward so you don't get stabbed.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just lean forward a little bit and then I don't get the little sting part. Yeah, that's what you got to do. So. All right, so I think we answered those. Were there any of the new questions? You know, we had a couple new ones come in because this was a late ask for questions because we're recording this at a weird time. So let me see. Let me pull them up right here and we can go through these other questions. If you could move a Disney park, this is from Katie, which ones would you move and where would you move it to? For example, you could move Shanghai Disney and put it in Tennessee. Just an example, not my choice. I mean, it would be a little odd to put that park into Tennessee. Just saying. I mean, I would just want to go to that park, so put it somewhere in the United States. Like, I mean, add it to Disney World. I don't care. They've got some cool stuff. Put them on.
Yeah, just add them all to Disney World because then, like, it just becomes another park, like, you know, bouncing between Magic Kingdom and Epcot. But you go to like, Shanghai Disney, then, you know, Tokyo Disney, and you can hit all the different rides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like it. And then Jeremy asked, you get to choose a new PhilharMagic song scene like they did for Coco. What is it? I think this is a pretty obvious choice. It's got to be Encanto.
Yeah, I was going to say Encanto.
It's got to be Encanto.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's going to be, probably. If they add another scene, it's going to be Encanto.
Yeah. I will actually circle back on that with some of the news in a bit too. Like, you know, more Encanto stuff, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm getting a little tired of the soundtrack because we're listening to it all the time in my house, and my daughter really likes to watch so one of the things they did on Disney Plus for Frozen 2, which was great. Like, if you go on Frozen 2 on Disney Plus, they have a section in the extras where they just broke out each song, right? So like each song just has like a little clip that you can click on, which is great for my daughter who refuses to sit down and watch a movie. You know, she'll just want to watch what she calls the horsey song. And that's, you know, the horse, you know, the one where she's, I forget the name of it right now because I always call it the horsey song. The one where she's riding the horse across the water to the island there.
Yeah.
So, but they broke them all out like that, and I wish they would do that with everything. Like, it would be great if they did that with Encanto, but I mean, you could just go on YouTube and do, accomplish the same thing, obviously. But she just wants to watch clips of just the songs and nothing else. So, that soundtrack has been on a lot. just saying. And see, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes if I get back in the car after I drop her off at daycare and it's still on, I'll listen to it. But
yeah, I will say, like, in our house, it's not on repeat, obviously, because I don't have young children anymore. But yeah, every once in a while, like, and that's where I think it would do really good as like an add-on song into PhilharMagic or something. Is that if you've gone long enough without hearing it, when you hear it again, it still hits as good as it did the first time.
Yeah, I agree. As I said, though, like, I feel like they would do We Don't Talk About Bruno, even though, like, I don't think that's the best song on the album or the movie. Yeah. But, I don't know how that one became the biggest hit. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like should be that.
No,
I'm not saying it's bad. I like it.
Yeah, I see why it got to where it did. But yeah, there's like, I feel like something like the Family Madrigal would feel better in like something like PhilharMagic.
Yeah, and PhilharMagic, I think We Don't Talk About Bruno really fits in that one. So, but who knows? There are more creative people than me that can figure that out. So, all right. So, DVC news. Let's talk DVC news. Look at us moving along. Take that, Katie. Did you read her review of episode 168 about how you and I droned on?
We were a hot mess, and that was fine. We're allowed to.
I thought it was a good episode. I had a fun time, man. Anytime I have a good time, I think it's a good episode. So. Exactly. Yeah. But anyway, listen. I appreciate the honest feedback. I thought it was kind of funny and made me laugh.
Yeah.
I understand that we drone on sometimes. I get it. Like, we don't mean to. You're just in the moment, and things happen. So. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got a lot more Cosmic Rewind stuff, and a lot more of this is going to come out over the next couple of weeks. Now that we have a confirmed opening date of May 27th, which was the rumored date, wasn't it? I think that was the rumored date.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, there was an initial tweet or something that went out.
Yeah, that executive member accidentally leaked it. Yeah,
yeah.
But I think that was
they
the
confirmed
date.
it.
Yeah. So they confirmed it, and we're going to have, I already got an email saying that there's a preview. And so for DVC members and annual pass holders, but Trevor, you didn't get an email for whatever.
No,
reason, I did.
Yeah. So that's that's where I'm wondering when these previews are, because I get the feeling that, I know a few people have said, oh, I hope that, this works out that while we're there for the meetup that we can do the preview. I don't see it happening on the Saturday or the Sunday for that particular week.
Why did I get it then?
Because you're an annual pass holder.
That's true.
So they don't, annual pass holders, I think they would give them to them because they can come at any time. But I'm sure they were looking at people's reservations, and either that or just because of the fact that but no, it's not because I'm in Canada. It's because I've gotten other emails. I never got anything around this one.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting if it was happening during the meetup, right? Like, that would be really interesting if that was happening, and would be a good reason to come to the meetup. Things. It might derail things. Yeah. Good. It's possible. I mean, I'm assuming we're going to find out in the next few weeks. I mean, probably next 2 weeks we'll find out. It is worth mentioning that this is a blue card benefit, right? So if you don't have the blue card, this is you can't do the preview. But again, we don't have dates on this. It seems like cast member previews have already started. I read somewhere that cast members are already writing this. So I mean, but I don't know. I haven't actually seen anything about it. But there was some interesting things here. Did you watch the actual trailer for it?
I did, yeah.
Can we talk? First of all, let's talk about knockoff Rocket, okay? Because that is not Bradley Cooper doing Rocket.
No, it's not.
It is, and it's very obviously not Bradley Cooper doing Rocket, right? Like, which is weird to me because you think that. I mean, I don't know how much he would command for this, but I mean, in the grand scheme of the probably over $100 million they paid to build this ride, whatever his fee would be to voice this character in the ride, you wouldn't think that it would be a drop in the bucket, right? Like,
or it could have just been for this particular preview. They didn't want to circle back on it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
because they also Star-Lord was also very clearly
not
yeah.
Because why is he wearing his mask inside the ship? Like, there's no reason for him to wear the mask inside the ship.
It was all very convenient for the sake of advertising the ride.
Yeah, no, that just made me laugh though, because as soon as I heard Rocket talk, I'm like, oh boy, knockoff Rocket, come on. Like, I didn't even know there was a knockoff Rocket. Like, I they always have the second person, right? Because like if you go on the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin at Magic Kingdom, like that is not Tim Allen doing the voice when you're walking through the queue. Like, you can tell, and like there are certain things you can tell where they're not the actual voice. Because I know like Tom Hanks, I think like doesn't his brother do stuff? Yeah, his brother does a lot of the voiceover stuff for him. So
because the advantage of being a brother, and I think. Funny enough, people say that me and my brother sound very much alike, although we don't hear it because we know each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I get where Tom Hanks' brother can definitely capitalize on that.
Yeah. But like that made me laugh. And then also like one of my friends texted me who's a big Guardians fan, and he was like, wait a second, is Drax not in the ride? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, he wasn't in the trailer. And I was like, oh. He said Drax and Gamora weren't in the trailer. And I was like, oh, I didn't notice that. And then I went back and did notice that they weren't there. And then I was like wondering to myself, like, and he actually, to his credit, he was like, well, wait, are they not part of like what Disney owns? Like, is that somehow owned by Universal? Because as different characters. But then I looked at the website and they are listed as being in the ride. So I don't know.
And I mean, they're on the poster.
They are on the poster. Yeah.
Like, it's, again, like I said, the thing is that for these trailers, they probably had a budget for the trailer.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to spend it all on, high paying actors.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they don't need to hire Vin Diesel to do Groot, right? Like, I'm not going to notice that, right? Like, they can process the heck out of that, but like, you can tell immediately with Rocket, right? So, I mean, and listen, they revealed pretty much nothing in this trailer. It's just like what the basic story is, right? Like, they didn't reveal any of the ride though. So,
but
which is fine.
Once again,
it's a teaser.
The soundtrack was always.
The soundtrack is always what it's about, right?
Yeah, it hits great on Guardians of the Galaxy, and I feel I'll enjoy it the same way that I enjoy Rock and Roller Coaster.
I do feel like the soundtrack might have been an expensive part of this ride, right? Like,
a lot of licensing, a
lot of licensing they had to pay for. But yeah, so I thought the trailer looked interesting and it looks cool, and it's. Although I keep laughing though too at Drax with a shirt on on the poster. Did you notice that he's wearing he's wearing like a jacket?
Let me go back and look at that.
Yeah, I just was like, wait, why are you wearing a jacket? Like he
is too.
He is, right? Like, doesn't he make a comment in one of the things that he doesn't like clothes or something like that? I feel like in one of the movies he says that, right? But I'm almost wondering.
He says something to the effect of it makes him like less or not an effective warrior or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, why is he wearing that in this? Is that just Disney trying to like censor? That just made me laugh too. I just thought that was funny. But anyway. So, and then we got some more pictures too from Zach Ridley, posted some more things of inside the queue and everything.
You were talking about music, right?
Yeah.
So interestingly enough, we got Disney Music Group just released Guardians of the Galaxy Welcome to Nowhere. I guess it's a video game soundtrack.
Okay.
But I'm surprised that, again, this is what's, kind of on their press release. So I think that becomes kind of interesting. Ooh, there's actually some pretty cool stuff in here. So we're going to get the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. Okay. Welcome to Nowhere. Wait, is it Nowhere?
Yeah, it's Nowhere. Yeah. Okay. It's just spelled KN.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other interesting part about this is that there is going to be a Disney Peaceful Piano. So piano versions of all your favorite Disney songs.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
With Guardians of the Galaxy or just a separate?
No, they're separate things. There's also a Mouse Pack digital album featuring Mickey and Friends singing classic standards. That's actually out now. It's Disney Music Group sends out press releases, but again, it's interesting that there's the Guardians of the Galaxy one as well, an actual soundtrack.
The soundtrack for Guardians is half the reason why the movie's great, Damon. So, good. Sorry.
I've never seen them, so I have no interest.
I know.
I mean,
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, the thing is, the original or the movies have like the original songs by the artists from like the 70s. I wonder, do you think they would try and get away with covers?
This is what it says. The EP features music from one of the most iconic locations in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to the alien techno, Nowhere's Dance Club, the haunting industrial sounds of Manlow's bar, and some.
So it's just it's ambiance. It's not like the actual.
Also
the actual
included
song.
Our fan favorites Showdown with Lipless and the Huddle. Sorry.
I really feel like you need to watch Guardians of the Galaxy, Damon. I really think you would.
I refuse. Nope.
Why do you refuse?
I'm principal now.
Okay. Oh, it's on principle? All right. I just feel like it would be up your alley.
Because there's better Marvel characters, and I don't even watch those movies.
No.
I'm down for this piano version, though, of Disney favorite songs, though. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we've listened to some piano stuff of Disney music. Actually, my wife will play it. We have a piano in our house, and she has a whole songbook of Disney songs that she'll play on the piano. So yeah, I'm all for that too, Damon. I'm with you.
Oh wow, this is pretty big. It's got 109 songs.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
so it's probably that's a lot of ambient music, probably.
Listen,
Which one would I want? Man or Muppet?
Music.
Trying to think about what I'd actually listen to. You got A Friend in Me? Piano version?
Oh, I like the Man or Muppet song from that Muppet movie. That was a good song.
This is pretty good.
Yeah, nice.
All right, I don't have to listen to you guys anymore. I'm good.
You just listen to that. All right, fair enough. You know,
Bare Necessities piano.
There you go. That's gonna be good.
And it's very relaxed. It's not Bare Necessities crazy. You could just kind of Bare Necessities.
See, sometimes when I'm like, when I'm at work and I need to like concentrate, I'll play like background music. Although I tend to play a lot of like the Epcot Future World loop. Like that's a good, just like instrumental.
The one song, it's called Papillon, I think, which is butterfly in French.
Yeah,
that one hits my playlist a lot for some reason when I hit Disney parks on shuffle.
Nice. Now I want this album that Damon has. Like I want this for myself. Like
it's on Spotify.
I was going to say, it better be on Spotify.
All right. Well, I'm going to go on there and use
5 hours and 30 minutes. You could just listen to it all day at work.
That's amazing. Sometimes when I'm on a boring conference call and I know I don't have to talk on it, like I know I just have to listen. Sometimes I'll put like movie scores on in the background to make them more exciting. You've never done that before? Like exciting movie scores?
No,
it makes the call more interesting. It feels like I'm watching an interesting movie when I'm really on a boring work call. What else do we have on this Trevor? So the preview pictures look cool. I mean, they're just releasing little things here and there.
Yeah, it's I'm waiting to see still what or when the actual dates for these previews come, because there's not much else to talk about other than what we've already seen. And like I said, I'm not holding my breath that this will be a thing when we're there for those couple of days.
You never know. I mean, it's like 2 weeks beforehand, right? So like that's when you would have previews. So it's possible.
I guess here's a question. When they did the Ratatouille previews, did any of them land on a Saturday or a Sunday?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I'd have to look. But let's see. DVC members were offered 3 days of previews for Ratatouille prior to its opening. I don't know. I don't remember when they did them. I mean, I would think they would. But yeah, I get what your point is. Like, why would they do them on weekends, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why would they do them on weekdays, Trevor?
Well, I'm just trying to set myself up for not being disappointed. That's all.
Yeah, you're just trying to you don't want to be disappointed. You want to be surprised.
I'm keeping my expectations low, and if it happens, great. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to bet on it.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I just got a weird feeling, man. I just got a weird feeling it's going to happen. Okay. So yeah, I just think it's. I don't know.
I think somebody said it on the Discord. I can't remember who, but they said, Trevor will get you in. The password's rhubarb.
Yeah, rhubarb. Yeah, yeah.
So
somebody's using Damon's password.
maybe we'll try that at the attraction and see if we can get in.
We just need a cast member hookup, right? Can a cast member hook us up? We need to make that happen. Or maybe Damon just needs to get us a press preview or something.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't really care about the ride, so that's the tough part.
That's the hard part. Yeah,
the hard part's convincing Damon.
Yeah, because again, if I got to pull favors, it's going to be something that I want to do, and that doesn't really hold any interest for me because I don't care about the movies, and the ride looks not all that cool. So.
I mean, we haven't even really seen much of the ride, but yeah, whatever. We've had this discussion before, so
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and do our ad, and then we will talk about these last couple things, and then we'll get out of here, and everybody, can have a fun, different weekend than we usually have. This will be the first time we haven't done a weekend in a little while, so. All right, so our ad this week is for Monera Financial. Monera, a World of DVC company, is the industry leader for financing DVC resale contracts. Monera offers lending with the longest terms available at 12 years, the option of no credit check, instant approval, low down payments, and no prepayment penalties. If you're thinking of purchasing a DVC contract on the resale market, go check out their quick online quote first. You might be surprised at just how affordable joining DVC can be. Go to monerafinancial.com or call 317-245-8800, and when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. Do they have a drop down? I forget. Is it just I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't know if they have the drop down. Either way, let them know that Welcome Home sent you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the rest of these items, well, not the rest of them. There's a couple here that are, I mean, more in the way of, like I was talking about before, announcements / news where there's not a lot to talk about with them. But so Disney earmarked 80 acres because Disney just has a ton of land. I mean, they just have a ton of land. And so they've earmarked 80 acres of land for a new affordable housing development, which is a big thing in Central Florida. There's a shortage of affordable housing there. And so this is I think a great thing that they're doing.
Yeah. It's always, good to hear about Disney, trying to, progress things and make it, more, it's not just about them building what they want. There is actually some initiatives to give back and to, help, this falls in the same line as their environmental efforts and stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's, Disney trying to be progressive and trying to, think a little bit forward. Right. So yeah, it's, I'm curious to see, how this all unfolds as they work through this.
Well, and interestingly enough, it's by the new retail center that they've just been working on. And, but I also I didn't realize that they had done this in Anaheim too, that they have built, some affordable housing and some, some different things in Anaheim. So I mean, they're not just doing it at Disney World, they're doing it, in California too for Disneyland. And this is helpful, too, for, you always hear stories and it's terrible, right? Disney is paying more than, what the minimum wage is these days and can pay, pretty decently for a lot of positions, but, affordable housing is still a challenge. So even if you're, making better money, it still can be hard to find good housing. So, and especially in California, right? That's even harder there. So it is good that they're trying to find solutions to these things. And obviously they want their cast members to have a place to live as well that's affordable. So I think that's something good too. But yeah, I'm always happy to see these things. And like you said, it goes along with their conservation kind of efforts. It's the community things that they're trying to do. So
Yeah. And I think the next item you had on the list kind of also, goes in that same vein that Disney is increasing their solar arrays.
Yeah.
Which again leads towards, they have a goal to be zero emissions by 2030, which is, coming up pretty quick if you think about it. But
yeah, it's not that far from now. Yeah.
Yeah. This all, these two new arrays, if I'm reading this right, it's saying that 40% of the energy supplied to they say the most magical place on Earth is generated by the sun. So
yeah. So between their existing, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. If you think about that, like Disney World is a very big place, and there is a lot of electricity draw. And if they were relying just on standard power grid, like that's a crazy amount of power that they would be drawing from anywhere else. So the fact that they're trying to find a way to keep it sustainable and keep it self-contained, that they're not causing any damage to the surrounding grid, that's pretty cool. Like it just further helps make this kind of technology more popular and possible. Because, you need sometimes companies like Disney have to kind of lead by example, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, now they're going to have solar arrays on 1,000 total acres for these two new solar arrays that they're building now. If you guys haven't seen there's the one that's shaped like Mickey, right? Like that's by Epcot.
That everyone sees that one or
you can see that one.
It, yeah.
Yeah, this one seems like it's not going to be really a place that you can go. And I mean, listen, the one that looks like Mickey is not even the main one, right? Like they did that one.
It's a display piece.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have a whole nother field that's filled with them. But I mean, I think with their current solar power, they can fully power 2 whole parks. So I don't know if that means I don't think they're necessarily, I guess they're doubling it, right? So maybe that means like literally it's going to give them almost, all the parks are going to be powered basically by solar, which is, extremely cool. And Disney's an innovator in this too. If you remember back to Universe of Energy had solar panels on the roof when that wasn't really as much of a thing. That was pretty revolutionary at the time.
Back in the 80s or not 80s, but in the 90s, it was, it was, them highlighting ways that they could, start it was the start of those conservation efforts.
Yeah. Listen, I know everything that we've talked about this before, like where I feel like a lot of times Disney makes changes to things, like for example, like the straws, right? Like where it's like, oh, well, Disney's just trying to save money or something like that, or whatever, right? Like where they change the straws to paper, when in reality the paper straws are more expensive, right? So like there are things like this that they do that I really do think that they have real altruistic reasons for doing them, right? Like they are really trying to be more environmentally friendly because they are a huge consumer of goods and they are a huge waste producer. I think of the amount of garbage that probably comes through Disney World in a single day. It's probably insane, right? Like, so doing this environmental stuff is a necessity, just because they are such a big producer of waste and things like that. But it's also, it's because they've always, since the company's inception, really been it's been important to protect the planet for them. So, I mean, back to Walt Disney making nature documentaries back in the day, like this has always been an important thing to the company. And I think they're sincere about it, Now,
what I want is for wherever this new array is, like they need to, not do the Mickey ears again. They need to do like it still needs to be the solar array, but there needs to be like a picture of Goofy or something on the array, but it'll be like something that, you don't see it unless you're flying, like
flying
planes,
right above it.
Yeah, planes flying over the area or whatever will see it, but nobody else will.
That's a good idea.
That would be funny.
Or maybe go back to what we talked about last week and make it Oswald, right? Like you just do an Oswald one,
right?
Yeah.
Or I don't know if you ever saw like Hollywood Studios actually. Like, did you ever see the
Mickey face?
Views? Yeah. Like Yeah, something like that, right? Where you wouldn't see it unless you knew it was there. You're flying over it.
I wonder if everybody knows that. Like if you go and look at an aerial view of Hollywood studios, that there is a Mickey face.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's changed, right?
Like it's still there, though. I mean, yeah.
You can still kind of see it, but it was very like when the park first opened, it was very clearly there.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm pretty sure you can still see it pretty well though. Like now you're gonna make me like go on like Google Earth here and like zoom into it, but but yeah,
after the show.
Oh wait, oh yeah, sorry, we're not allowed to Google things anymore. That's right. Okay, sorry.
Well, you wanted to get done early here, so I'm trying to help the show.
You know what? You're doing a really good job of this because I obviously failed on 2 episodes ago on making us go faster. So
yeah, let's get to the rumors.
Well, do you want to talk about food first? You don't want to talk about food? What about this? Is all sweet stuff.
Yeah, but we need to make it short. Yeah, Easter. There's Easter food. It looks cool. We don't know how it tastes because we're not there. Okay, rumor.
Well, can we talk about this? It looks like a cupcake that looks like a bunny's butt. Like, I don't know if that's what I want.
Well, okay, David obviously wants to talk about this rumor, so let's talk about the rumor, and then we'll come back to the food.
All right. No, you can talk about the food. I don't care.
No, it's fine.
But you're the one that wanted to end early. We're already an hour in.
Yeah, well, we only got 2 topics left, and we're done. Oh, no, wait. We have a whole Disneyland section. I forgot about that. All right, we don't have to talk about food. Let's talk about this rumor. So there's a rumor and I'm going to say where it's from, and I know people don't love this place, but it's from WDWNT. But I like to talk about rumors sometimes because it's fun to speculate. But they are saying that there's a rumor that a Lightyear, which is the upcoming movie about the origin story of Buzz Lightyear, I guess the actual human that the toy was based on, right? Is the best way to describe it. So they're saying that a Lightyear ride is already in development to replace the Buzz Lightyear and Toy Story attractions at Disney parks. I will say that I don't really care if the movie's successful. They got to do something with the Buzz Lightyear ride. Like that thing is falling apart. Like it is.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they let it go this long without refurbishing that thing, but it's in such bad condition. And I mean, they just need to replace. They need to redo that whole thing. That needs to be like a long, several year refurbishment on that thing.
Yeah, you're right. The funny thing is that like when I look at it, it feels like something that has been around since the 90s, but it hasn't.
No,
like that's how worn down it looks.
Well, it's 98,
actually,
right? So it's 98.
I'm thinking like early 90s.
Early 90s.
Thinking like that. Yeah, like. It feels like it's a lot older than it should be. And yeah, you're right. It does absolutely needs a redo. It needs some fixing up, and not just, fixing the guns. I think they need to just take the whole light gun thing out of it. Honestly, they need to just rethink the whole ride.
Yeah, I mean, some of these, like the newer ones, they mentioned in this article some of the new ones, right? So like they don't even have this at Hong Kong. Like they have an Ant-Man and the Wasp one that, like has projection targets and screens and, just it's more technologically advanced, right? Like you would think at this point, you would think that they'd have to scrap basically the whole thing, right? Like they're not going to use those same ride vehicles. Like they would have to start over with this. This is a major thing. And I mean, listen, they can use the same theme because it's like, Buzz Lightyear, but obviously the Lightyear movie is going to have some different things in it than the Toy Story movies, I would think.
Yeah. So I guess, pointing out here that, it is a more realistic, or, Lightyear is supposed to be a realistic movie or portrayal of Buzz Lightyear. So does that...
Yeah, what are we going to be shooting?
Yeah, it'd still be aliens, but does it start crossing back over into that realm of where Alien Encounter was?
Wait, do you think there's going to be aliens in Lightyear?
I mean, they showed some in the trailer. They showed like the one grabbing his leg, like with the, you know what I mean? There was like some sort of alien. I think so. I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see.
I'm assuming because
short trailer,
because there was like the whole cartoon that was implying Buzz Lightyear as an actual space ranger, not just the toy. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I can't imagine them doing Buzz Lightyear without aliens being involved. Because like the whole Zurg is, like he's the alien bad guy, right?
I guess, right? I don't know. Is Zurg in it? Do we know if he's in it?
Yeah. A lot of questions there, but yeah, that's where I'm thinking, if this rumor holds any water, Buzz Lightyear, the current ride is definitely very much targeted at the younger audience, for Toy Story and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we'll have to see what the Lightyear movie brings, because if it's a little more, realistic, usually means that, for younger kids, it suddenly crosses into a zone where, it's a little too intense for them. And then it kind of undoes the whole purpose of the ride in the first place, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it feels like they probably wouldn't plug it right in, though. Like, I guess we have to see what this new movie is going to be like, right? Like, we really don't know. But Zurg is in the new movie. Apparently he was in the newer trailer that they put out, which I didn't watch. I meant to, but I guess Zurg is in the movie. So that's good. Good to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. What are we going to be shooting if that's the case? I don't know. What do you make the bad? I'm sure there's a bad guy in this movie besides Zurg. Like maybe it's Zurg's like henchmen, like the robot guys, right? Like, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. But
there was a whole evil space ranger guy in the Buzz Lightyear cartoon. I can't remember his name now.
There was like a Buzz Lightyear that like went through the academy and got like
he was
evil?
a competitor to Buzz Lightyear, and he turned out to be a bad guy because he was they were rivals, and then that extended out into him becoming a bad guy. Oh,
okay. I never watched the animated one, so that's on me. I guess I have to watch that.
Yeah. I got to I watched them because when my son was younger, I was like, well, I'm gonna just find a bunch of old Disney shows that I never watched when they were first on, and him and I sat down and watched them. So,
I mean, listen, are you okay with this if they scrap? I mean, it's still the same basic theme. It's still Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's still the same, like, I mean, I shouldn't say, I don't see them taking out the Omnimover part of it. Like, I don't see them removing the entire ride per se, but, a complete redo and getting rid of, honestly, like, I was originally going to say all the rundown stuff, but everything at this point, because it's all rundown.
Yeah, that whole thing is just busted, man. It's it's kind of amazing it's lasted this long and they haven't done anything.
It's very much looking like I mean, anytime you go to an amusement park where I'm sure you've experienced this too, like there's a local amusement park where they had a haunted house attraction and it's the same as it was in the 80s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right? And you can tell that nothing's changed with it. So,
well, and this basically hasn't had a major refurb since it opened, pretty much. I mean, like, it's pretty much been the same. And I have to tell you, like, riding it, like, it's really hard pressing that button all the time. Like, at least like they did the little pull string with Mania, with Toy Story Mania, because like that one's not bad. Like, I can do the pull string, but the button, man, my thumb ends up hurting a lot after the end of that ride. And plus, half the time the guns don't even work and don't have like the little laser pointer working, Yeah,
well, that's because they've been all banged up from years of use. So
they got to just replace that whole thing, man. Just start from scratch. Mm-hmm. I mean, like you said, they should keep it as an Omnimover, but I'm all for this if they want to replace this. Again, it's the same character, so it's nothing new there.
Yeah.
All right. So I got some Disneyland updates. Let's talk about Disneyland stuff.
Okay. So Main Street Electrical Parade. That's exciting.
Yeah. Couple weeks.
Oh, April 22nd. Wow. Yeah, that is coming up quick.
Yeah. But now they have a line of merch and a dining plan. which is just so weird.
Okay, well, the dining plan was those have been a thing in Disneyland for a long time now. So
we've always, we had those at Disney World, just not for Main Street Electrical Parade that I can remember. There might be
so for the nighttime parades, like I've done the dining plans for. I did it for Paint the Night. So it was like you went and you had lunch somewhere, and then you got a voucher for a Fast Pass area to watch the show. And it works out good because it's kind of the same thing as watching the the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. You have a reserved space for the show. So that, so that's not surprising. The merch is definitely cool. And
I mean, it's all the stuff on here is for women though. Like where's it's all like women's stuff.
Yes.
I mean, from what they're showing, I'm sure
there's a couple of T-shirts. Yeah, I guess but no, never mind.
Yeah, I mean,
you're right. It is all,
like I'm not wearing that T-shirt. Like either one of those. Those are a little much for me, right? Like I don't know, but I'm in favor of Main Street Electrical Parade merch. Like I do think that should exist, right? But
for sure. And maybe this is just the start of it, right? Maybe this is just a pilot that they're doing. I will say the design on it, like the way that Mickey is drawn and everything is it's kind of interesting because it's a
little different.
Yeah, it's not like the Mickey Mouse shorts that people don't like. It's a very it's a different
older one.
Yeah.
An older version, but still kind of unique, But I have to say, I don't always love those lounge fly bags. I kind of like that one. That one's cool. I mean, not that I would buy one for myself. My wife has a Star Wars one that she really loves, but if she saw this one, I feel like we'd be buying another one because this is
this is something. Same thing. My wife would definitely be looking into this.
Yeah, I wonder if we can get it online. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to look into that because there's a birthday coming up, So anyway, so that there's that, and then we have, which I think this is our last thing for today's show. So look at that, we are gonna finish pretty early, but so Disneyland is going to launch an Encanto show. Well, it's just like a projection show of We Don't Talk About Bruno, of the song. And it's
back to what you were saying before about
what I was saying before. They're going to do they're actually going to do like a projection show on the facade of It's a Small World, which is very different at Disneyland than Disney World, right? Like it's a huge canvas for them to work on.
It's a huge white space for them to project stuff onto, and it works. I've seen projection shows on Small World in Disneyland, and it'll be cool, guaranteed.
Well, and it seems like there's just based on like there's kind of sections broken out, right? So that like on Small World, so like they can do like really cool things with the projections when they have those broken out sections. You know what I mean? Like there's really neat things they can do with the projection technology, the projection mapping. But I'll be interested to see what it ends up being. And that starts, by the way, on April 11th. So that's actually when this podcast premieres. So if you're listening to this on the day that we released it, this is starting today. So
go to Disneyland and watch. Go to Disneyland. Talk about Bruno. Yeah.
So it says the Small World facade will be transformed into canvas with select moments from the film projected on the exterior of the attraction as full original songs play. So it sounds like it's not just We Don't Talk About Bruno. It's full original songs. Oh, the full original song plays. Sorry, I read that wrong.
Yeah.
I was looking ahead at the picture.
No, they're not playing all the songs. They're still just playing.
That's playing. Man, we do more songs. Come on. But I mean, listen, I think this is going to be fun. I think it'll be one of those cool things that they do. I'll be waiting to see how long. And by the way, why is there only a Mirabelle meet and greet at a Disneyland? Why aren't they doing that at Disney World? What's that about? How are they? Yeah, like how are they not doing that at Disney World? Do they just not know where to put her? Like, but I mean, it looks like she's in, I don't know what section of the park Disneyland this is, but
Frontierland, Zocalo Park is, it's right by Big Thunder, which, the closest equivalent, I guess, would be kind of like where, Liberty Square is in the Magic Kingdom. So
Got it.
yeah, kind of around that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is also, to also talk about Main Street Electrical Parade. So there's going to be a new there's a new finale, which is going to include Encanto too. So it seems like Disneyland's getting all the Encanto stuff, nothing for Disney World for some reason.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It is.
Like, but
you think they'd be jumping on it like they did with Frozen? Because you remember after Frozen came out, they didn't expect it to do anything, but then like all of a sudden Frozen stuff started showing up everywhere at Disney World. Like,
well, really, but it all started at Hollywood Studios, though, right? Like, they went all in at Hollywood Studios. I feel like they pick a park and they're like, okay, we're going to do all the movie related stuff at this park, and maybe they probably have some reason for doing it in California that won't be obvious right away. But yeah, I do hope
Disney World too would be popular. Yeah. A meet and greet with Maribel would be hugely popular at Disney World.
Oh, totally. They could do it at Epcot. Like that's. There's that space where you meet all the other the like Mickey and Goofy and stuff. Like,
yeah, they could do it at Hollywood Studios though too. I mean, like Hollywood Studios is great because it's like you don't have to have a theme specific to that, right? Like you just throw anybody there. The Incredibles show up there.
Throw anybody in there.
No, you can though. Like, I mean, the Incredibles are there for some reason. Like it's just like you said, Frozen.
You just make it sound like just shove him in a corner. He'll go stand next to like Star Wars. It'll be fine.
That's what I'm imagining in my head. Like some Disney executive, like we really need to capitalize on this Encanto thing. Throw Mirabelle over at Hollywood Studios. But I mean, I feel like they should do more than just Mirabelle though, too. I mean, I know that like Luisa is tremendously popular too. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't just be Maribel. I know she's the main character, and they tend to just do that. But there's a lot of characters in that movie. They should do multiple characters. So
yeah, like some like Dolores and Camille. Yeah. Like there's lots of cool.
I'd do a Bruno meet and greet. I mean, Bruno's like super weird. Like that would be great. I think that would be cool. Who doesn't want to do a Bruno meet and greet?
I think that right there is why they probably don't want to do it because, we would be like, he's weird and that's cool. But I think a lot of kids would be like
freaked out by it. Yeah, but like he's not like the villain of that movie, right? Like he's not. I mean, nobody's really the villain of that movie, right? Like even Abuela's not really the villain. Like she's everybody gets redemption at the end, right? So. But I don't know. I just think it would be cool. All I know is that I also clicked on this article for the Orange County Register, and there's a suggested article on the side, "The California Man Who Bought a Cruise Ship on Craigslist," and I feel like I need to read that. I don't know how you buy a cruise ship on Craigslist, but anyway. All right, let's wrap this up. Okay. Let's get out of here. Let's end this early, and then we can have a nice short episode. You can go and do your weekend wedding stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about finish the show that I wanted to watch tonight.
Well, that too. Yeah. But yeah, you guys can get to your weekend. So I guess I will start off by reminding again about the meetup. So if you're coming to the meetup, please go to meetup.welcomehomepodcast.com and confirm, please. The ask is before the 13th, which is Wednesday, so that we can get a final head count and make sure that our reservation is good. And once we have that, we will make sure we communicate out to everybody that RSVP'd so that we all know where we're meeting.
Yeah.
So please do that if you're planning to come. Back to the normal stuff as usual. If you want to send us any emails for, about your trip reports, ask questions, stuff like that, you can always email us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. And if you would rather find us on Facebook, you can find us as Welcome Home Podcast. And you can also check out our Facebook group, the Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. Join in there. You can see all the memes, the discussion questions. You can also get in on our questions threads every week if you want to ask a question through there. Make sure if you haven't, you make sure you follow our YouTube channel and Instagram, Welcome Home Podcast and Welcome Home Pics. As we get going back to the parks here, with our meetup, you'll be able to follow some of the stuff we're doing on those places. So probably be good to have those checked so you can keep up with what we're doing. And if you want to buy any merch, make sure you go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out shirts, mugs, and whatnot we have there. Anything you buy, just all goes back into helping us do stuff with the show. We want to find some more things to do in the future, like more t-shirts, like the welcome or the Haunted River Country, stuff like that. Another place to support us is through Patreon, patreon.com/welcomehomepod. There is some exclusive merchandise on there that you can only get through supporting us via Patreon, and it also gets you access to our Discord server. So if you want to meet or communicate with us on Discord, please consider that. And last but not least, if you want to leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify, consider giving us 5 stars so that Tom can be happy. And
can be happy.
Yeah. Make Tom's day. It really matters. It's like those sad kitten things. This poor kitten won't be happy if you don't leave 5 stars. So same thing. You don't want a sad Tom. He'll tell me about it at the meetup if you don't leave him 5 stars. So yeah, but no, also it helps more people find the show. So that's really what why we want you to do that.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. That. So also, please don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, just about any podcast app out there. You can find us. Just search for Welcome Home. Reminder to our listeners, as always, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please speak to a Disney cast member or DVC representative for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you to our sponsor, World of DVC, and specifically Monero for sponsoring this episode. Join us next time for more Disney Parks Discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.